from cash flowing everything around me, and from saying I said a hip hop, a hippie to the hip hop, and you don't stop, and cruising down the street in my 6'4", those are things you just wouldn't normally say in everyday talking to people, but it's things that have been made popular because of rap music. And rap music as a genre has a very interesting history. So, about 100 years before the very first rap song was ever produced, so in the 1860s, 1870s, there was these West African priest wise men who would tell stories using words and songs and drum beats to tell the story. So, and that's kind of what rap is today. So almost 140 years now, we've got from this West African priest to the weekend. And okay, so yeah. Right. And so the next major thing that happened in rap was what happened when James Brown hit the scene. So James Brown used these really hard beats in his songs and these really fast-paced lyrics that kind of really started the whole rap history genre movement moving forward. And in 1979, Rapper's Delight came out, and that's the hip hop, a hippie to the hippie song. And that really started all the major record labels to realize, wow, this is a really new upcoming thing of music. We need to start signing artists, which started with the signing of NWA, and which made them the first mainstream rap group, and Run DMC, and all the quote-unquote old school rappers. And since it started becoming mainstream, rap led to its own form of characteristics. And some of these are it's poetic form. So if you really think about it, if you just take the rap lyrics, it's almost like a poem, because each verse is a stanza in a poem. And there's figurative language used in the rap. There's figurative language used in the rap and rhyme. For example, Biz Markie, when he wrote the song Just a Friend, he used rhyme, and then he said let me tell you a story of my situation. I was talking to this girl from the US nation. So he uses rhyme, and he said after he was writing the song, he used rhyme to make sure he's stayed on beat and make sure that everything made sense in his song. And rhythm is actually very important in rap music as a whole genre, because there's these slower paced rappers, kind of like Snoop Dogg, and then there's the really fast paced rappers who you can't understand a word they say, like Busta Rhymes. So there's an example of Busta Rhymes. That's it. And the slow pace is Snoop Dogg, old school Snoop Dogg. The most important things about all these rap songs though is they stay on beat, because if you're off beat, you just sound like you're putting out a bad mixtape. So, and rap lyrics are some of the most iconic lyrics that you see, those little pretty pictures with the nice background. Sometimes you see rap lyrics and they're pretty motivational, kind of what Tupac says, the greatest loss is what dies inside while still alive, and what Eminem said when he said took my bruises, took my lumps, fell down and got right back up. It's kind of good use of words and language. So So the whole rap ring to the mainstream, everyone wants to try to be a rapper. So that's when people try to put out their mixtapes. And I have a really good friend who put out a mixtape on SoundCloud because he wanted to use it as a form of expressing yourself, which is kind of what rap is, because it's storytelling. And it's just a way of telling stories, and it gives you almost rap gives you a portal into a section of American society and what's going on in society. That's what NWA started rapping about, all the things they were going through in Compton and growing up in inner city LA and all the police brutality. And so that's so they're rappers are telling their stories, their own personal lives. And that's what people are trying to do now with mixtapes. And so rap as a whole genre of music has really changed from almost these West African people just using drums telling stories to what we think today was the weekend. But there's all these like individual characteristics of rap, like the lyrics and how they use them, like the expression and like the rhythm. And I'm just gonna end with one of my favorite rap songs of all time. Thank you.
So today we looked at 3 different music genres from college.